two ninjas spoiling movies.
Yeah,
And Brandon Collins.
that's me.
It's Justin Brown for your movie needs. Medium popcorn.
Woo!
You haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it.
Who's the master?
Well, that's your warning.
Uh.
And if you get pissed, it's all your fault. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh.
What's up, little biscuits and sun-dried tomatoes? It's your boy Eddie Collins.
Guys, it's Justin Brown.
And we are medium popcorn niggas spoiling movies, but you already knew that. You already saw that in the title, and you also listened to that beautiful song sung by the velvety voice of Justin Brown. You know what I'm saying.
I don't. I really don't.
I know.
I really don't.
I really know what I'm saying. I listen back and edit this, these episodes, and I'm like, man, am I even speaking English? What's happening? But we do have a special guest to help us break down this Indonesian action thriller called The Night Comes for Us. Justin, introduce our guest, bro.
So this young gentleman, we actually went on tour together for 5 months. We were hosting a fucking game show at music festivals.
Oh,
around
that's
the
how
country.
you know him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Kay was another host on the tour, but Kay is also a stuntman.
Okay.
He's a martial artist. He's a personal trainer. Kay does a lot of different things. Obviously, an actor as well. So this my man Kay. Kay, talk to the people.
Hey, what's up, everybody? KO. This crazy. Am I allowed to curse? Am I allowed
Oh,
to say
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
come on now. Come
Oh,
on
yeah.
now.
This ain't a
This-
PG show. This ain't even a PG-13 show. This is NC-17, like this crazy ass movie was.
And
I-
depending on what's going on.
Yeah.
Because we get raw over here.
And then it's unrated if we get to look at some pictures. I'm not gonna say what kind.
so Kay, we're gonna need you to send some pictures of you with your shirt off.
Oh my
Because Brandon's gonna jack off to it. Right to the mic.
Imagine if we just added a new tier to the Patreon and it's just shirtless pictures of Kay. Like, just because you're a good looking dude, it'd just be funny to me. I just like
Oh my goodness.
our fans are just like, who's this guy?
Just random.
And we backdated too from when we first started the Patreon. So there's hundreds of pictures uploaded at once.
Kay's just like, where'd you get these pictures from?
I was
Like,
just
hey, man.
from tour.
So you two were touring together.
So Kay, first of all,
Yeah.
obviously we call him Kay because niggas can't pronounce this motherfucker's real name.
No.
Throw
no.
it down. Throw it down.
No
Try
one
it.
can say it.
I want everybody to take a shot at saying your name. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say it or you?
No, you gonna say it. I
Oh,
ain't gonna fuck myself.
all
up
right.
with
That's
that.
it all the time. Though.
So what it is Kouryou. Kouryou. Yeah. Kouryou. Yeah.
See, and you gotta say it strong
Kouryou.
like that.
Yeah.
Kouryou.
Yeah. Because it's like Ryu from Street Fighter. Ryu
Yes.
means dragon. So with Kouryou, it's the rain dragon. That's what it
Oh,
is.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
But
See, that shit sounds so fucking dope. Like when you break down some of these, like the Rain Dragon. My name is just like of Justice or some shit like that. But you got the Rain fucking Dragon. Like, yo, what the fuck, America? Why can't we have these dope ass names like fucking Rain Dragon?
Yeah, my name means Prince in Irish.
Yeah, I mean that's weak ass shit too. you a prince. You ain't even a king. You a goddamn prince. You a snot nose ass prince with a rich ass daddy.
Oh my God! Actually, okay. So if I go by like what Google's telling me, my name translated Brandon Collins means Prince Darling.
Prince Dar. Oh yeah, you a bitch.
I was gonna say that sounds gay as shit. I was gonna say that.
Oh,
you
boy.
a straight up bitch.
Oh,
So Lluvia in the chat, our producer, she said she asked Kay if it's Japanese.
Yes, my name is Japanese, but I'm 3/4 Cambodian and 1/4 Japanese. So
okay. You did
yeah.
23andMe.
yeah,
Gave away your DNA to an unknown entity.
no, just my parents. Just
Oh,
like,
okay.
what are you? What are you?
Yeah, they broke it down. They were like, "Here's the
Yeah.
bloodline. Let me show you."
Yeah.
So, But Justin mentioned, Kay, that you do like stunts, right? And so, what's your experience with that? And like, do you do stunt fighting, anything like that?
Yeah, my martial arts background, like I am a trained MMA fighter, boxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, a little grappling, wrestling. All that comes together, and I train MMA, but I'm a stunt driver. I love being behind the wheel of motorcycles. I've
Okay.
been setting on fire. I've jumped off buildings. Uh, like
What's
you
getting
name
set
it.
on fire like? Like, what does that do to your adrenaline? Because
It's
I
hot,
imagine,
nigga. That's what it's
well,
like.
obviously it's
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
was gonna
hot.
say it was hot as hell. And you think you expect it. Like I remember the first time I was like, all right, I'm gonna be set on fire, but it's all safe, right?
Yeah,
So I'm cool with it. No, it's hot. Like you feel the heat. Absolutely. But the adrenaline does go up
yeah,
because you can see like the flames across you,
for
you
sure.
know. So it spikes, but you just gotta keep cool and keep your wits about you.
And they don't
Don't do
record your sound, right? When you're doing these stunts. Because I feel like if I were a stunt man, they lit me on fire. I'd be like, it's hot. Fuck up the take.
Well, also like
Score says he's like, Brandon, please stop screaming.
first of all,
darling.
you think you're gonna be
Please.
working with fucking Scorsese
As a
and you're
stunt,
lit on fire
as a stunt man, yeah.
as a
Like-
stunt portly man being lit on fire.
I will say, if I have a stunt man in 5 years, folks, I went a dark way. Just because
So, okay, just correct me if I'm wrong though, but anytime you're lit on fire, you're really on fire. It's not really that long. You may be on fire for like maybe like 20 to 30 seconds, maybe a minute at most, correct?
Yeah. It's very, very rare that you'll be on fire any longer than that. If you look back at any scene in a movie or TV show where there's a guy on fire, they're like running and then like they're out.
it's a quick
Or it's
cut.
like a
Yeah.
zombie. It's like super fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
mhm.
Now, so I've seen some things where like they put like some sort of gel on you so the fire doesn't spread to your actual skin. Do you know
Yes.
what that is?
I don't know the actual word for it, but yes, that is the gel they put. They layer on there. So sometimes they'll put it on your skin. Most of the time, it's underneath clothing, or you'll have different layers. Yeah, different styles for a different type of burns. But yeah, that gel there is extremely cold, and that will prevent you from ever actually burning, like through your clothes to your skin and anything like that.
Now, what about stunt fighting? Because obviously, this movie, The Night Comes for Us, it's at the Ray level fighting, like
Yeah.
very choreographed, but very raw and gritty. And that's because it's with multiple actors who are really good stunt fighters, right? So,
Mhm.
what's your experience with that? And like, how technical in practice do you have to be in order to execute something like this movie?
It's actually interesting that you said that like raid level fighting because like Indonesia has its own genre almost. The things that happen in here, we wouldn't be able to watch on like Mission Impossible or Taken and believe it, or even like Fast and the Furious. We'd be like that doesn't work. But because of their genre style of fighting, it takes a lot of work. Like Joe Taslim, the main actor of he was in the raid as well, the 1st
Mhm.
one, and he's the main character of this one. He said
And he's in
he'll
Warrior.
never
And he's
he'll
a warrior.
never
Shout
he's
out
in
to Warrior.
Warriors, now he's in Mortal Kombat. There you go.
Mhm. You saw
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
they just shit the bed on Mortal Kombat because they have two really great actors with him and the gentleman that played Scorpion, who's also in John Wick 4. And then everyone else is dog shit.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yep.
else is terrible.
That one was kind of like it was hard to live up to the original from the video game fans and like the classic 90s and things like that. But you have so much talent and they had to do so many reshoots. A friend of mine is friends with the guy who played Jax, and they just had to go back and reshoot so many things. It was really disorganized.
Mm.
So
Yeah, even Jax's character, like design wise, he actually looked really good.
yeah,
But like they
yeah,
just gave him nothing to do, and then like of course, they didn't even get to the actual tournament. It
Yeah.
was just like practice for the tournament, which was
Yeah,
weird.
it was stupid.
yeah. The storyline was all over the place.
Yeah, but so you're saying that there has a lot of like practice and work to go into
Yeah.
executing these shots. Got it.
Yeah, Joe Taslim said that's what I was saying. They wanted to recreate the raid in America, and he said it won't be possible because the amount of times, you know how we have like the union and we have like you can only work 12 hours, like they were working through the night. If something wasn't perfect, they would do it over and over and over. So the tedious work ethic and like just the meticulous practice to get perfect is what you see in this movie and in the raid. So.
Yeah, and I also will say the issue I think with America, besides our labor laws and stuff, which are good, right? Would be that
just guys, just let you guys know that the Asian man said that about the labor laws, and the Asian, it was not.
Iko Uwais and Joe Taslim, both from the Raid series, like they actually are doing these fights for the most part. It looks like I know how things are cut together, and these are shots that are directly on these gentlemen a lot of times, right? American actors, you'd be surprised. Even the people that are like, I could do the stunt. The studio's like, you're not doing the stunt. Like even people that be willing to do the work to execute stuff, like you know, in an honest, pure way, they're not even getting the green light from the people that write their checks. So it's like on top of the people that are like, I'm not doing all this work, like I'm not going to learn how to do that. It's just American culture. Like I think it's just not willing to sacrifice to execute the way that these movies do.
Well, I mean, part of that is insurance companies.
I was gonna say,
how's Tom Cruise get insured?
Well, he's producing everything. Like he's the executive producer. He's like a major producer in the Mission Impossible. Any other production, they wouldn't let him do that. There was a series not too long ago, the Divergent series, where an actor wanted to do a stunt dropping from a helicopter to the back of a truck. It's probably like 15, 20 feet. He's like, I can do it. They fought him. They're like, we have a stunt double. He wanted to do it. He did it. He broke his leg. He's a main character. So that stopped all of production right there. You know, thankfully they had insurance, but that's why, you know, they use stunt doubles for things.
Didn't that actor Dylan O'Brien also like not in the Divergent, but like the Maze Runner movies, he broke his back or something?
There's certain things, you know, and it's not even that. I've worked with a lot of actors who are like, I want to do this, and they're like, you know, if it's something that you can do and you've trained for it, and it's not gonna like end you, like fighting, like the fighting stuff, I think it would be great to do. I know a couple of stars that are like, this I want to do, like Ryan Gosling, Chris Evans. They're like, you know, I want to do this. I want it to be me. But I know other times, like if it's a really hard acrobatic trick or martial arts moves, they gotta get a stunt double in there.
Yeah. I mean, I also think we're not as limber as people in other countries. You know what I mean? Like, especially, I think the richer you are as a star, you know, the less ability you have to just let yourself be loose because you're always tightened up because you got to be that A-list celebrity and everyone's got to love you.
Not necessarily. I mean, it depends what kind of action star you are. Like, somebody like The Rock, like he's not going to be doing, you know, he's obviously not going to be at limber because he's, you know, very muscle heavy. But like if you have somebody who's more lean, is like a lot of them doing yoga and things like that, that's going to help you be able to, you know, have that, you know, if you have that lean muscle, it's going to allow you to be able to do some of the things. But if you're doing like acrobatics and things like that, you need to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can't just be backflipping and hoping that it's going to work out. You know,
well, yeah, but even just some of the kicks of, you know, flying kicks and things like that. Like that shit ain't easy.
Yeah.
I had some people like have asked me to like choreograph stuff and like coordinate, and they just got a bunch of actors and they're like, all right, do this fight scene. And I'm like, have any of you ever done martial arts, fighting, boxing, anything? They're all like, no. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do the best I can. And all of a sudden, like the director's coming up to me like, what do you think? Like they need to work out more? You think it'll be good in 2 weeks? I'm like, lady, none of these people can fight. Like it's not something you can just teach an actor. Like all of a sudden you're gonna look at Jake Gyllenhaal in Southpaw or in Roadhouse or Michael B. Jordan and Creed. They didn't just go and like, all right, I'm gonna look like a boxer. No, they trained intensely for it. You know, most people do this for years or their entire life, and people are like, oh, I could do that, and it's like, no, you can't.
Well, you know, then the other thing is just like, you know, when you're doing like a fight scene, like you're gonna get hit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you ain't hit. Like, for instance, Kay and I did a fight scene, and I punched him right in his mouth. I hit right in his mouth. I hit him right in his slob knocker, and I felt good about it. So that's it.
I knew it.
I felt good about it because you want to know why, Kay? And you
it.
know why I did it. You know why I did it. This man cock blocked me on the road one day. I'll never forgive you. I'll still never forgive you. Even I'm a married man. I'm a married man. I will never forgive you, Kay. I will never forgive you.
He also kicked me in my chest, and he didn't have to do that. He did that on purpose.
Of course not.
I know you did it. Now, trained professionals, we don't hit each other. But this motherfucker, he had a vendetta against me, and he took it out on me.
So we did watch the Night Comes for Us, which is a 2018 Indonesian action thriller that's available on Netflix because they basically bought the distribution rights, so they own it for the foreseeable future, right? And it's basically about this dude who works for the Triad. But is he one of the 6 C's?
Yeah,
Ito is one of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's these 6 C's that represent the Southeast Asian Triad, right? And
like the elite soldiers.
Yeah, and so he's on like a mission, so to speak, to take out these like these immigrants, the villagers, who had stolen the drugs and stuff. And they kill everybody. So there's this little girl, and the main character, Ito, played by Joe Taslim, is basically like doesn't want to do it. So he kills all the people he's with to save the little girl. And this is what kicks off a lot of shit. A lot of people die to save this one girl. It's like it's an even more intense Saving Private Ryan. This shit was wild.
Yeah, man.
Because the girl didn't even have anywhere to go. He just put her on a boat. Where's she going? We have no idea. The Triad still knows she out there. She's gonna have a long life. Well, no, she's not gonna have a long life. She's gonna have a very short, painful, traumatic life. No, for real.
Well, I mean, but it's already been painful and traumatic.
Yeah, she's literally watched every adult for the past, I would say, over 72 hours die.
Yeah,
every adult that's come in her path dies.
It's like, oh, you've been nice to me. You gonna die horrifically.
Yep. You gonna get, man. They were fucking up corpses in this movie. That's how violent this movie is. Like, I was not expecting how gory it was.
Yeah, they
like,
were not fucking complaining.
It's like the Raid, but like, it's like the Raid
10.
and the Raid 2. Yep, times 10. Like together, the Raid and the Raid 2. Then you multiply that by 10. Like the gore and the amount of violence, like I was like, oh, this is like the rawest version of like those movies, because this is like, we don't even care if people like tell other people about this movie, because we just want to be, intent on how our vision is. Because the Raid and stuff, I feel like has some more commercial ability. I think this is tough because it's so violent. It's like,
absolutely.
It's almost like the Raid. I would say the Raid and Raid 2 are on the same level as like Deadpool and Wolverine violence, whereas this one is, you can tell why it's NC-17.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know why this is NC-17, because like when they're fighting, they fighting, and it's also like the thing I love about movies from international films, especially martial arts films, like your heroes, they're getting fucked up.
Oh yeah,
they're not just they're not just a buzz sawing through waves and waves of guys. It's just like when our boy Joe Taslim, I don't know, was
Ito.
When Ito is out there in that first fight, the first fight that we see him, it's like he's already hurting. He's already hurting.
Yeah, his side.
And he's got bruises everywhere. He's bandaged up.
He's back all sliced up and shit like that. Like, so there's a lot of things that it's just like, oh, immediately they apply stakes into the film. So like that's the thing that I loved about it, because like I feel like a lot of the films that come out of the United States, it's just like, all right, guy goes rock'em sock'em robots through like 20 guys, barely gets hit, and then right before he's supposed to fight the final bad guy, somebody hurts him a little bit, which gives the bad guy an opportunity to be able to beat on him for a while until he, summons up the power, to get him at the last second. So like,
that final fight between him and Ariane was fucking, that's a brutal, I mean, they have a lot of history between themselves. So this is a brutal, drawn out, like, fight to the death thing until the very last moment. Like that was almost a tough fight to watch.
Yeah.
In a way, it's just because they're both putting boxer cutters through their mouths,
Hey,
throats, and shit.
Ugh.
I think they were trying to push the boundary on that as much as they could. Once I saw how the setting and the environment, if you follow like the raid and these kind of movies, you already knew it's like, oh, this is gonna be a bloodbath.
Yeah,
Like
like
leading up to that, you already saw the power tools and everything. You were like, oh, it's gonna be gruesome.
yeah. Once you put two Asian men in a warehouse, you know some terrible shit's about to go
And they
down.
sweating.
Had to take
Yeah.
it there.
And there has to at least be a machete
You
or
call
a
it a
bat.
sweatshop? That's messed up. That's messed up. He said
No.
there's sweat. All right.
No, they had the butcher shops in this. They had the butcher
All right.
shop because that dude
Yeah, I
was
remember.
that was nasty though because he had the real beef meat next to the human meat, and then he was going. I was like, "What kind of food do you want, sir? What kind of meat do you want?" I was like, "That's gross. Not gonna
Yeah.
wash the clothes."
You can get nuts. Don't even know it. You
Why
order
would you
something,
go
they just give you
there?
some nuts, man. Human nuts.
This is your friend, Kay.
You do a show with him. Like,
Yeah, but that's
you have
that's a business. That's not
you have a
friendship.
longer partnership.
That's a business. Okay. That's
closely related right there.
oh sweet lord. And so basically Ito, he takes his little girl and he goes to his ex-girlfriend's house, who apparently is hooking up with his old gangmate, right? Because they had that little moment with the hand in the hallway.
Oh, yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, get on out of here.
He was like,
Go,
he's like,
kid.
Shantika, it's okay. We'll talk. Yeah, go. And then basically she tells, because she like helps him bandage up because he got fucked up. He got shot. He got shot from behind when he killed everybody else. And so basically she bandages him up, and then she tells his old associates, like these old gang members that he used to roll with. Yeah. And one of them is white boy Bobby Bull or something like that. And that dude was out of his mind. He was a drug addict who fucking had a prosthetic ankle foot.
Yeah.
And he was, I mean, he was crazy and unsettling until he started getting busy. And then you're like, oh, this is a fun character. And then he died in the most brutal way possible. Yeah. Everyone we got to know died brutally. It was like watching the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn again. It was fucking crazy, dude. It wasn't that Huckleberry Finn wasn't that violent, but
like what?
That's not the reference.
No, the Elijah Wood movie wasn't that violent, but everyone that kid and nigga Jim or whatever his name is came in contact with, they all died. Everyone in that movie that came in contact with who helped them out, they were like, yeah, missionary, she died. Anyways.
Okay, Brandon. With the Huckleberry Finn fucking reference.
That's what
wow.
I do, dude.
Wow.
In these type of films, there's always like one. I feel like they love exploring extremes because there will always be one character that's like who the fuck wrote this? Like who is that? Like the distant uncle, like the one that is just totally off the wall, sideways, like batshit crazy.
Yeah, like old
but he's
dog
a good
in
guy.
the Ray movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just, well, old dog
almost
was the bad
superhero-esque.
Yeah, there's always one character that's just like keeps going. I mean, because white boy killed the dudes in the elevator. Then he helps with the fucking ambush in the apartment where they got rushed by how many? At least 40 dudes.
Yeah.
All with like axes and machetes and shit.
Held his own.
One of Ito's friends, his gang was down they were down for shit because one dude had a big table holding it up while niggas are chopping away with it with machetes. And I was like, how do you even strategize to get out of this? Like,
you just holding on, waiting for your damn the next opening so you can get these motherfuckers up out of there.
Well, that's a question I have for you, Kay, is when you're stunt fighting like this, right? And let's say you're really taking both the stunt work and the acting seriously. In order to do that, don't you kind of have to play these characters in these situations like, I'm about to fight for my life. Like literally, if I don't win, I die. Like, and how do you, as a stunt coordinator, like, I guess that requires you to get into the mindset of a lot of different characters, right? In order to make sure that the fighting is authentic. Like let's say if I'm a character in a movie, like it's Brandon, the character, and I have to fight for my life, it's not going to be well structured or practiced. It's going to be very raw, frantic, maybe depending on how I handle stress, right? Like, so like just, I don't know if you have experience like kind of supporting actors do that, but like, if you do, like, what do you tell them? How do you work that out?
That's a really, really great question. I think a lot of the things we see, a lot of stunt people who are very talented fighters put these amazing like fight sequences up on like Instagram and stuff like that or YouTube. But when you're looking at a story, I have to look at the script. Like as when I'm choreographing or coordinating, I'm like, who is this character? Like, you can't have like some soccer mom fighting a burglar and doing like triple roundhouse kicks or like 540s and stuff like that. You gotta be like, she's scared, but also, wait, is her son sleeping upstairs? Now that kind of changes things. Now it's like, I don't care if there's a kitchen knife, a flag, a book, whatever, that kind of desperation. You got to put it in and know what the background is of these characters. Are they brave? Are they a former Marine? Are they, and you put it together, their fighting style with their experience. And even the same fighter, like Ito, throughout the movie, he's in different places emotionally, physically. So he's not always gonna fight the same. Like Justin was saying, some people are just invincible. They're a badass through the whole thing. No, when he's tired, you see him punching, just like swinging and missing and tired. Like all that comes together. So I try to, I put myself in the head of each person.
I think that's the reason why so many people fuck with the fight scenes in Daredevil. Now that you you mentioned like you get tired because that was the thing that Justin and I always talked about that we loved about the fight scenes. It's like, okay, yeah, he can fight 20 dudes, but after 10, he's gonna be really fucking tired. Yep. Same with John Wick. You see John Wick like slowing down, like he speeds up, and then he's just like, okay, let me be methodical, but I'm gonna take my time because I'm fucking tired. And this movie was a similar way, but I love that you talked about how Ito fights differently throughout the movie based on his emotional level. Because by the time we get to the third act, he's determined. So when he goes into that old warehouse that he and his gang used to be at, like he is prepared. He's like, it's gonna be a lot of dudes in here. I'm gonna take some hits. Yeah, I'm gonna end this all tonight. Yeah, like he's on a mission.
Well, and it's also just the fact is like the way that he was coming at people and the way he was finishing them. There was a lot of finality, so he was going for the kill with a lot of people. In
you have to. You can't put turn your back to any of those dudes.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like in the film, it's just as he's fighting, like those guys, they're taking swings at his back with a fucking knife. Yeah, and things like that.
Oh, that's when he had the phone book, right?
Yeah,
that was smart. Like as you see, like I loved how they had like little things that they were like show a close up of real quick, and you're kind of like, what the hell was that about? But then it does pay off because some movies just throw some random shit in, like with White Boy when it like zoomed in real quick on the mop, the metal mop sign.
Yeah,
you're like, okay, I guess he's gonna do something with that mop, and then he actually takes the mop sign and bashes that dude's head in. I was like,
well, no. Before that, he put the mop sign inside of his clothes. Yeah, so when the dude shot him up, he was shooting a metal sign. So that's awesome. How he didn't die. So I was just like, wait, how's he still alive? And also he pulled out, I'm like,
White boy, though, he was crazy.
But even though at the same time, if I'm shooting somebody, I'm shooting him in the head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I got a machine gun. I'm making sure I'm right here. Right?
Well, that's the thing too with this, like, because I thought, like, I was like, oh, well, yeah, if he survived that, like, because he didn't get a headshot, he's probably gonna make it pretty far. And then I remember these movies are basically like Game of Thrones shit. Like they're like, we'll kill you, the main character. Like no one's safe, right? And so. Because I thought when Ito was at the butcher place and he finds out that the dude was actually working with the triad and they all ambush it and like light it up with Uzis.
Yeah,
I was like, there's no way that he's alive behind that table.
Yeah, because all they had to do was point down.
Well, also they're shooting like 10 bullets at each at a time. Like he ain't living.
Yeah, you're right.
The little kids just ain't gonna stop bullets.
That's true. So it's something interesting. And Kay, I'd love to hear what you think about this because it's just something I've always noticed. I'm pretty sure I said it on the podcast before. So like for me, like Michael Jai White, right? Phenomenal martial artist. Does some great films and things like that. But like one of the things that makes me very critical about his films and about a lot of his action scenes are, and to just America and how we do things. Michael Jai White. Now, if you don't know, like I said, he's a very accomplished martial artist.
Played Spawn.
No, but in real life,
I know, but like you got to give people like because not everybody knows he does that.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, played Spawn.
He was in Why'd I Get Married 1 and 2. And he also was
like a Steven Seagal film.
Yeah, he was in the Dark Knight.
Jean-Claude Van Damme in what's that? Universal Soldiers.
Why are you getting older
like
with the movie references?
No, because that's where he also played Mike Tyson. That was like his claim to fame.
Oh yeah, he did play Mike Tyson.
Yeah. So the thing is, because he's such a great martial artist, a lot of times I feel like he doesn't sell in his films. So like, because he's so, it's almost, his style is very effortless and there's no real wind up to it. And for me, it comes across as just like, he has not a worry in the world fighting the other person that he's fighting. And and it's completely different from when I'm watching these guys fight. I feel like there's far more stakes, and it's just like, oh, this guy's getting messed up, or this guy was to kill him. Michael Jai White is just like, there's an air of invincibility in his movements. It's not even just a character, but it's in his movements. And it's because he's such a strong martial artist that he's trained in a certain way that he's just like, and it's just how he moves.
Yeah, but that is on him as the actor.
No, 100%.
To make sure that his character is vulnerable enough or portrays that, because it is tough if you're like really good, but like you don't want to get so crazy like you're like Steven Seagal where like you come off invincible, but no one wants to work with you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because I would say it's also about the people that he has the opportunity to work with in films, because the director and writer of The Night Comes for Us, Timu Jatanto, which I'm sure I'm mispronouncing, I think like had a very specific story and vision and got this cast and stunt team to buy into it, and that's why it's executed so well.
Yes. Okay.
But knowing the way Michael Jai White is, you're right. It's up to him as the actor. He is a phenomenal martial artist. But I also know, not just him, but there are other stars that like, I want to look amazing. I want to be invincible. Sure. I don't want to. If Michael, if a normal guy gets hit, he's like out of the screen. Michael Jai White gets hit, he's like, he's back there. He's just, that's the way he wants to be. He wants to portray that. I know exactly what you're talking about with his kicks, with his moves. He wants himself to be, the stakes aren't as high because you're like, this guy's not human.
It's almost like he's an unstoppable force. It's actually, I would say it's almost very 80s.
It sounds like it's like Reacher, which is like why everyone's like for the new season of the Amazon show. I guess they got like the biggest dude, like one of the biggest muscle dudes in the world, because I guess he's huge, and so everyone's like, he's invincible. But now they got this bigger dude. You know what I mean?
Supposed to be the villain.
Yeah. So it's like, because I know that's like not a complaint, but something that people say about Reacher the show.
Yeah. The guy playing Jack Reacher, he's a big guy. He's a really fucking big dude.
He was actually almost Thor. Chris Hemsworth got it, but that's how big a guy he is. Like when you put it into perspective, like he was almost Thor. So that size and stature.
He was in that show Blue Mountain. Oh my God, it was a comedy.
Oh, Blue Mountain Resort.
No, it's a Blue Mountain College, or it was like a comedy football.
Blue
show.
Mountain State. You said.
Yes, he was from that show. That's where he came from. He did not look like that. Like he put on some serious pounds. I think he's almost like either like 250, but it was like solid muscle.
You know who he also played? Raphael in those Michael Bay Turtle movies.
Yeah,
because he did an interview where he talked about how terrible of an experience it was working on that movie.
Yeah, but and also on top of that, he also put a lot of muscle on from there. Yeah, because he was a lot thinner,
which is insane. Yeah, because they didn't even see his face. I don't know why we just both did that, but I wrote that on my notes like several times. I used the word brutal. I was like, "Holy shit!" a few times. I did think the dude who was running the butcher shop, when he started getting punched and he started laughing maniacally, I was like, "Oh, he's trying to get his Joker on." It felt very Joker-esque in that moment, but yeah, man, some of these fight scenes just fucked me up. Like when Bobby bashed that dude's head in with the skull, I'm like, I haven't seen something that like visceral, like in regards to head wounds, since Negan killed what's his name on The Walking Dead.
Oh, with the bat.
Yeah. Which after I saw that, I was like, oh, I get why regular like cable watching audiences were like, yeah, I don't want to watch The Walking Dead anymore. Like, because if you're not ready for that, like you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But then that's not to mention all the, don't get me started on the knife girl and shooting using human shields versus gunfire, like arms being blown off, fingers being blown off, everything like that. And
so the chick that played the operator, that actress, whose name is Julia Estelle. Yeah, she's a Hammer Girl from Raid 2.
Girl.
And I wrote down Hammer Girl is a cutie when she has full eyes.
Yes,
oh yeah,
yes sir.
When she doesn't have an acid ridden out eye, she a cutie.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, she is.
Yeah, she was fucking shit up too. When they had I did write down. I was like, it would be cool to see. It would be cool to see a movie with the operator as the lead or something like that. Like give a female, like one of these badass females that could do these stunts, the lead role. Because it was cool to have all three of them fighting each other. And I was like, I know why y'all did that, because you don't want to see a dude beating up all, one of these women or something like that. But it just would be cool to see a female like kind of in a movie like this. The closest we've gotten to that, I think, would be Charlize Theron in Atomic Blonde. And that's a lot for stunt double, I imagine.
Well, we've had a few now. That's kind of become a big thing in America. Like was a Lucy one, or there's a
Scarlett
couple.
Johansson.
Yeah, there's been a couple where it's just like, double agent, CIA. There's a couple on Netflix like that, but I would love to see one as in depth as something like in Indonesia, like taking it to that next level where it's not just all guns, but physical combat, like fighting.
Do you think it's because some of the fights are just atomically, they would freak people out? Like, and what I mean by that is, right, like in the warehouse scene, and not even that, in the butcher shop scene, there's a moment where Ito takes a hook and hooks it into a dude's groin and then rips it out.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can, I don't know if just visually or like, I don't know. I think that there's something mentally, like we would need to get a psychologist on or some shit, that like, I think that would be such a visceral thing to watch that you couldn't, I don't know. I think.
Are we talking about in America or Western media?
I think even I think even in like Indonesia, like in countries that make these kind of movies, I think that's the reason why they haven't done it.
So I'll jump in here really quick. Okay, I think overseas, excuse me, you'll get more of that, and it's not as people because you got to realize that here in the States we are far more prude with a lot of things.
Oh yeah, and
But also on top of that, I think the biggest thing
I love how you react to that.
Yeah, is the ratings. NC-17, R, PG-13. Yeah. So I think that plays a lot into what you're going to see in films, because our ratings structure is a lot more stringent than other places. So if you're going to make a movie and it has, somebody's groin getting ripped out with a hook, that may pump up.
What is this, Candyman?
Yeah, I mean, but that may pump it up from a PG-13 to NC-17 right there.
That would be insane if you presented that kind of movie and scene and you're expected a PG-13.
But but you could have a film which is not that crazy, and then that one thing jumps it up to NC-17.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So therefore, you've also limited the kinds of people who can watch that film, without having to get a parent or, somebody else to vouch for it.
Even though I will say, went to Deadpool today at Alamo Draft House, 3 young ass niggas who definitely weren't 18, no parental guidance. Yeah. I was like, oh, we're not even IDing these little motherfuckers anymore.
I literally just got out of Deadpool as well, and there was a little kid up in there. With their parents. But there's a little kid.
Oh, yeah. There's a few kids.
This is not for you.
It was crazy.
It's getting lower and lower. Like the ratings, like it used to be like there could be no nudity, no cursing, no violence, no anything. But as like we become more and more, I don't want to say desensitized.
No, it is. You're right.
It is. It's like it's a natural. I mean, these kids could pick up like their phone and just see all that anyway. So
that is true.
I feel like the ratings have gone lower, but we have things like Saw and things that like challenge discussing stuff, Human Centipede and stuff. But these things in a action film you're probably not expecting to see.
I'm just more like bitter about it, because I can't tell you how many times I had to sink into American Pie before I finally saw the fucking movie itself. these niggas were like the CIA coming at me. It's like, sir, do you have a ticket for this? No, I do not. Leave me alone. I want to watch this nigga fuck a pie. They kept kicking me out.
My hand is in my pocket for a reason.
But yeah, she was awesome as the operator.
Yes,
can we
absolutely.
also
sniping niggas?
Can we also fucking shout out Hannah Al Rashid? She was like the blonde girl who's she's 100% Asian. Like she looks completely different. Like she really transformed for that role. She looked like she was like like a white girl that they just like, oh, we're gonna plug this white girl. She is not white, not by any means of it, but she is gorgeous.
I thought they all were gorgeous.
No, yes, but still, no. Look at her. Look at her.
Oh no, I did. Yeah. I mean, there's some wild pictures of her online.
Yeah,
she kind of looked like the Joker. But yeah, everyone was pretty. I'm not pretty, but everyone was a good-looking person.
Yeah,
even like Joe Taslim, who I was like, why isn't he getting more American? You know what it is? He probably intimidates the fuck out of American actors.
Oh, I mean,
especially with action movies. Like I can see people like, yeah, I'm not gonna do all this. So how do we water this down where I look good in beating you, but you don't outshine?
That kind of happened with Eco when he was in Mile 22 with Mark Wahlberg. So
okay,
yeah, so I have a whole thing I can talk about Asian men and Hollywood, but that's another thing. But
I'm here for it.
Eco's really amazing in that movie. Okay. And I don't know if any of you guys have watched it, but Mark Wahlberg's character is an asshole. He's a dick. He's just very unlikable. And fast forward to the end, it's Eco is the one that needs to get saved and rescued by Mark Wahlberg and his team, and ends up like he's the bad guy. In the original script, Mark Wahlberg was the bad guy, but Mark Wahlberg didn't like that this guy was getting the shine and he was like this badass superstar. He was like, I want to be the good guy. Change the script. So that's like
Mark Wahlberg was also beating up an Asian man in Boston, so he obviously has some things against Asian men. So of course he would do that.
Apparently, he can't bring up any of his past indiscretions, even jokingly. He gets like he'll fucking
Did you know that he tried to get that shit?
Oh yeah, expunged, right?
Yeah, expunged because he wanted to become a part-time cop.
Oh, I'm sure that's the reason. I mean, yeah, I'm absolutely not surprised by that.
Yeah, that's wild. Hey, Mark, get your life together, brother.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely unfortunate because there's no reason why these two gentlemen, I mean, including the gentleman from Warrior who I was actually thinking about.
The guy who plays Assam?
Yeah, I mean, like
Andrew Koji.
Okay, yeah, because I remember when Justin finally introduced me to Warrior, right? And I finally started watching it. I remember hitting him up and being like, "Why didn't they just get the whole fucking cast of this for Mortal Kombat?"
Yeah,
it's insane. You had all the talent over here. Yeah. They do stunts. Even the white dudes were getting busy. I'm like, I'm sure it's not fully them, but the stunt team on the show is fucking getting it.
Nuts.
Yeah, the coordinator on that is super talented. I know some of the stunt team members on that. Brett Chan, I think. He was the coordinator for Iron Fist, although he didn't get to really show off his stuff there. But super talented. He's got a great team. So for Warrior, it would have been amazing to see more of them in Mortal Kombat. But on my theory, or it's not even a theory, the way Hollywood works, if you look at it, perfect example, why don't Asian men get more leading roles or things like that? It's like, you got to fight up the ladder. I know this for a fact, like auditioning.
Well, I mean, and that's this is not something new. This goes back to the 70s. Bruce Lee. I mean, just the fact that Warrior is actually Bruce Lee's actual original thing for that for Kung Fu that they basically just like, we can't have no Asian guy leading this thing, and they gave it to David Carradine.
Yep.
It's like, and honestly, I think that they just stole his shit, and he didn't get shit from that.
Yeah.
So it's like this, it's just the way the business is for certain kinds of people, and it's the like just much like as black men have, said in the business for a very long time, is like it's always seemed like there can only be one at a time. And it was in every aspect. It's like there's one action black. Was one action black. There's one comedy black. There's one this drama black and stuff like that. And like I feel like now we're starting to move away from that. The good thing is we're starting to get some films, television shows, and things like that, which are giving us more Asian actors, which are I guess more diverse cast, which in the swaying Asian, but still the breakout stars are one at a time. It's really one at a time because like Tony Ya, he was the guy. And then he kind of fucked it up, and then now it's like who's the
next
new
one comes.
Yeah, but just want to use this as an opportunity to tell people to please watch Warrior on Netflix. Try to get those numbers up, because if they get big enough, maybe the studio would consider at least giving us a final season, if not movie, because it's literally the best in regards to American TV, best fighting I've ever seen.
Yeah,
like hands down.
Yeah,
like if you were like Hasbro and what is it, Paramount maybe, and you wanted to do a Power Rangers reboot, but you really want to make it like Cobra Kai but even better, I would say get the stunt coordinator for Warrior and like get rocking, because that can look awesome.
Yeah, it's horrible that you got Warrior didn't get picked up by HBO Max. It's on Netflix now, so they're like, everyone stream it. I know a few of the cast members from that, and they were all on Instagram, just like, it was when it came out on Netflix, it was like #1. It was definitely in the top 10.
Yep.
And they're like, pick it up. Brother's Son didn't get picked up. I think All American Family, all these like things, but it always comes from money talks, right? I'm glad you brought up Tony Jaa. Tony Jaa was big because of Ong Bak, and then where was he? And Fast and Furious, and then other things. Joe Taslim, big because of The Raid. What was he on? The next Fast and Furious as the bad guy. And then he goes on to other things, Mortal Kombat Warrior. It's like they want to be able to market you, but also you gotta be, not for nothing, like an exec said, and Henry Golding, he was the lead for Crazy Rich Asians. They're like, you know why he can be a romantic lead? Because he's half white.
Yeah.
You know why Andrew Koji could be a lead? Oh,
because he's
half
British.
white. They're like that, They want to be like, oh, now they're more marketable. But Asian men, you're only good, like you said, one at a time. You're only good for action. We had Jackie Chan, we had Jet Li. Who's next?
Well, and that's the crazy thing, because if you really look at it, and I know we're going down a long rabbit hole of
exactly
stuff, but like Bruce Lee completely destroyed the mold, because he was literally almost like the first Asian man to actually do something on TV where he wasn't a servant. Now, mind you, he also did play the Green Hornet's butler,
Kato.
Kato. Yeah. And then, and then he became kind of the breakout star of that show, and then goes on. And still, as he was ascending as Kato, he didn't get his burn here in the United States until he went back to China, made a bunch of crazy movies. They're just like, yo, let's do something with this guy now. And he's been in the business for a while. So then Bruce Lee, obviously, very tragic death, right? He got conspiracy possibly, but Jackie Chan got the rub from Bruce Lee, because Jackie Chan was in the movie with Bruce. It was in Enter the Dragon. He accidentally hit him a thing, and everybody's like, oh, this Jackie Chan guy, he's doing great things. But Jackie Chan he's doing his thing in China. Eventually he blows up in China because of rub from Bruce Lee. Then finally somebody notices him. I think it's like a Police Story and things like that. They started bringing
Police Story was big.
Yeah. And then Rumble in the Bronx is the thing that really blew him up.
But it was just like Bruce Lee. He had to leave and come back. He had to leave. They only understand money. They're like, is this guy gonna make us money?
Then we had Jet Li. Jet Li was killing it over in China. China, I believe. Then he comes over to Lethal Weapon 4, and then he's the hugest fucking star. The thing that stopped Jet Li's
he started doing black movies.
No, his meteoric rise was actually stunted by the fact that he doesn't speak great English.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, Romeo Must Die in the movie he did with DMX, Pride and Hell. They were like,
yeah.
they're like, oh, you're going that direction.
That was interesting. I didn't expect that.
When you started a movie against DMX, what was that? Cradle to the Grave?
Yeah.
And Anthony Anderson calling them fucking dim sum or some shit like that.
That is like that is one of the craziest movies ever. Like, it was just, why are these two partners? This would never happen. DMX. Anyways, they were like, he's a hacker. Hey, get money. Like, anyone else on sequel?
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna hack the mainframe. You know what I'm saying? DMX, for real.
But I will say, like, even to we were talking about earlier the sensitivities around ratings. Like, the moment when the guy, when I think it was Ito, tasered a cop, one of the corrupt cop dudes, in the neck, and he shot his gun in the face of another officer, and that blew off. I was like, oh, this is why this is NC-17. I was like, that is fucking nuts.
Yeah. He knew enough to be like, hey, your finger's on the trigger. I'm gonna tase you. You immediately lock up. Boom.
I also wrote down about the little girl. I said, I haven't seen a little kid in so much danger in a movie since Jurassic Park. Like, I was like, this little girl's in trouble.
These Asian men are like dinosaurs.
Well, it was that, and then also you had the female, the two female members of the Six C's, who were like brutal. Yeah, and you're like, and they were not hesitating. They called her a little bitch. I was like, oh, they're gonna smile killing this little girl.
She's hiding in the closet and the dude's trying to stick a knife in there. I was like, God damn.
That's why I said she's gonna be fucked up. You thought Laurie Strode had issues after Michael Myers. Nobody had nothing against the Southeastern Triad. Fucking good luck taking them down, Mike.
Waves and waves of men just trying to kill me.
I mean, we opened the movie with her seeing her mom get lit up on a beautiful beach like a Christmas tree. It's not good. That's how we start the movie, guys.
You know what? It's kind of crazy if you think about it. That is the worst kind of Baywatch you can think, because she's running on the beach
and she was not ready.
Yeah, she was not.
Because the theme song says, "I'll be ready." You weren't for them bullets.
Oh, that little girl was standing in the darkness, and she was afraid to step into the light.
The show is so out of control.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it
is. One of my lines was, because Ito's best friend sacrificed himself by like being a decoy. He's like, hey, hide in the parking structure. I'm gonna drive toward these dudes because he's already fucked up. Yeah. He sacrificed himself and he gets lit up. And then the little girl, she got grabbed and she started stabbing the dude. I was just like, this little girl will not go quietly into the night. These triad dudes do not know who they're fucking with.
Well, by that point, she's seen some shit.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, she knows she has to kill everybody around her, which is going to make her a terrible foster child. That's going to be a rough go. I'm sorry. That's going to be wild, dude. Basically, she can't trust any adult around her except for Ito. So she in her head, she's like, we got to be on call to kill anybody at any time.
Yo, if you really think about it, she's the chick from The Boys. Like, that's her origin story.
Which chick, though?
The Asian girl, that's what
Kimiko.
Yes. Kimiko.
Thank you, Lluvia. Yeah, she is beautiful.
She is gorgeous.
She's when she's not gorgeous. Like they made her look prettier, like let her like actually put some makeup on and stuff this season. But like in person, she is beautiful.
Oh, listen,
like Asian women are having a moment because I've started watching Shogun.
Oh yeah,
Anna.
Uh-huh.
Anna. I'm not even calling you your full name, Anna. If you listen to Medium Popcorn, send us an email, mediumpod@gmail.com. We will take you to the best dinner of your life.
We will take you to a Sizzler.
No, we will take
you to a Sizzler.
Don't do that.
No.
Anna deserves nothing but the finest foods.
We will take you to
Anna
a Sizzler.
Sawai, I'm telling you, please email us. just say, hey, the password to let us know that it's really you is Brandon is the best. That's the password. Okay.
Really? Is that what it is? That's what it is? I thought you had said something like Harigato or some bullshit like that. That's what I was waiting for it to come out of your mouth. You said, Brandon is the best.
That's the best you can think of.
Yeah, that's the best you can think of.
I was like, moment. Prince Darling was supposed to make a comeback or something.
Yeah. Oh boy, this just shows off the rails. He's dead at the end, right? Ito after he gets her on that boat.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, we didn't even talk about the final fight between him and Arian, which that was so crazy. And then also when Aaron kicked that steel beam, he missed Ito, and he's like, he's like, ah! I was like, yo, that's probably the worst pain of this entire fight.
Yeah,
when you kick a steel beam with all your might, and then you hit it with your toe.
Yeah. No, you hit it. You hit him with his shin.
Shin.
Yeah, he's hitting with his shin. That shit can snap your shin real fast.
Yeah.
I did think it was funny though at the beginning of that fight though when Ariane's like, he's like, "That's all you got, E2?" And I'm like, he just fought 40 dudes downstairs.
Yeah.
Like,
are you man enough? Are you man enough to fight for niggas for me?
like, come on.
So you know what's crazy though is the fact is like
does Kay know what that movie's reference to?
What's that?
Guess what movie that soundbite from Justin's in reference to?
I have no idea.
About fighting 4 dudes. It's Footloose. That's a reference to Footloose.
That's so dumb.
Because like she was mad that he didn't fight like a bunch of dudes for her, and like it was just insane.
But like, so there's a point where they're fighting the fight, and then like they're both pretty fucked up, and Ito well, he knocked him over like these steel beams or something like that, and he tries to stand up, and then the beam rolls, and he kind of falls. I was like, it's a little shit like that. That makes fights,
It's a tracking shot too, a pan shot, so you know that's authentically like you can't cut that together. It's really hard.
It's awesome. Little shit like that I love in a fight scene, or just like it makes it. It really does make it. And they're also
not perfect.
Yes,
they're not invincible. Yeah.
So they also, I'm pretty sure. Fuck. It's this movie because I've been watching a lot of movies lately. No, but it's this movie. They had an ode to the Bruce Lee movie Chuck Norris, Game of Death.
I was gonna say Sidekicks, but that sounds more accurate.
No, Way of the Dragon. I'm sorry. Is it Way of the Dragon?
Okay. I don't know. I just said Sidekicks, so that.
With the claws, the scratches.
No, it's a Bruce Lee movie where they're fighting the Coliseum.
Bruce Lee.
I think it's Way. Is it
Chuck
Way of the
Norris?
Dragon? Yeah, it's an old.
They were in a few movies together. The Way of the Dragon, Game of Death, Dragon to Dragon, The Fist of Justice.
No, they were only in.
Those are the things that popped up.
Way of the Dragon. It's Way of the Dragon. So, in that movie, they have a thing where they're kind of facing off, and then the fight starts with a cat meowing, and then they start fighting. In this movie, I believe it's the girls. They're in the hallway or something like that, and then a fly flies into the bug zapper, and then that's what starts the fight. It's like little shit like that. I was like, oh, I know exactly what they're fucking referencing. But you have to be a fucking, martial arts movie fucking nerd to pick up some shit like that. But it's like, it's just so fucking good. It's so fucking good. Yeah. And it's like the little shit.
Something that Brendan mentioned earlier is like when it's panning and you see they don't cut. That's something also that I think it deters why it won't be the same in America. Because you watch anything, it'll be a lot of quick, short cuts. Where they'll film this piece and film this piece, because you gotta think these 2 guys are going at it, or the 2 girls, they're fighting, or 40 guys in a long sequence. So if someone fucks up, you gotta reset all the way to the beginning. Like they're trying to get one long take of this done perfectly or imperfectly, where someone's slipping, and they keep going. They're actually tired through this, and you're like, whoa, they didn't cut, zoom, switch, anything. That's these 2 people doing it. No stunt double, no anything.
I think actually Ung Bak had the record for the longest scene, like fight scene, the one where he's going up the stairs.
Ooh,
yeah, because that's one continuous shot.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's one continuous shot because he's climbing up those stairs and knocking those guys off, shit like that. Like it's nuts.
That's why everyone Daredevil loves the hallway scene. It's for things like that where you're like, wow, it's just a camera and it's real going, time. And it's just...
Daredevil, they were able to cheat a little bit because it's all the tone, the mood, because a lot of stuff happens inside a room and you just like gotta hear it. But then you see things happening in what's seemingly real time. There's another one shot too, like I think in season 3, the prison escape scene. That was like a one shot too, or like edited to look like it. But Yeah, I mean, I think this movie has a lot of solid moments and like really cool, obviously fights and stunts and stuff. But I also know I can see why when we posted this on Patreon, like compared to the Raid and other Indonesian fighting movies, this didn't get any comments because I think after the first 20 minutes, when you see how violent this is compared to the other ones, it might turn you off. Yeah.
Well,
Not for me. I'm in.
I forgot there's a new movie that Andrew Koji's in. That is gonna be wild. Look it up. It's an action movie, and it's gonna be very
Boy
like
Kills World.
yeah, it's gonna be insanity. Hopefully, I'm hoping
Oh,
it
that's with the
has kind
Skarsgård
of
guy.
yeah. I'm hoping it's kind of Indonesian-esque that it's just
Huh.
like off the rails, like crazy.
I didn't realize Andrew Koji is actually in Bullet Train.
Yeah. It's a weird role, but yeah, he doesn't get to fight or anything like that,
Oh,
really.
okay. Yeah.
But Justin, break down our rating system, baby.
So first of all, stop calling me baby. So, guys, you know how we do this. We rate movies bags of popcorn, small, medium,
Never gonna
large,
stop.
and the XL for the exceptional. If a film doesn't deserve any hot, buttery, fresh popcorn, we throw it into the stale popcorn pile. We pile piles and piles of stale popcorn on top of it. So, Kay, we sat down and watched the 2018 Indonesian action thriller, The Night Comes for Us, starring Joe Taslim, Iko Uwais, and a bunch of other amazing actors whose names I don't want to butcher on this show. So, Kay, what say you, my friend?
I feel like I'm a little biased towards this because of where I'm at and what they did. But looking at storyline, looking at even characters like the operator, looking at the arc that everything goes through, not just the action as a whole, I'm gonna have to give this a extra large. Like
Okay.
it was either large or extra large. It's up there. It's one of my favorite movies.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm giving this a medium just because it was just there were some parts where I had to pause and kind of step away for a second. I'm like, this is a lot for like a Sunday afternoon. Like, you know what I mean? And versus like the Raid 2 is pretty violent too. Like, I don't want to seem like this is so over the top, but it hit a little bit differently, you know, because I think with the Raid, it's more like it's almost voyeur-esque, where you're not really like you're watching the story in full, but you're kind of like observing, right?
Yeah.
Whereas this one, because of the emotional hook of the little girl, you're like constantly on edge that this little girl actually might die.
Yeah.
And so it's a different feeling, and you're just like, there's no good people in this movie, like. You know what I mean? And even the little girl, she's gonna be fucked up. Like, so it's a very dark movie, and you don't feel hopeful at the end. Like, I really didn't. I was like, the only thing that could make me hopeful is maybe somehow E2 survives this at the end, which
nope,
he's not.
Asian
and
movies
he finds
are
the
very
girl.
dark. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, because like I said, that little girl's life is fucking gonna be a disaster. So,
but I mean, if you really think about it, the underworld of Asia and things like that, the crime world is pretty fucking dark.
The whole world is dark, man. The world's a dark place, bro.
You're right. You're right. But like, they got some dark shit going on over there in some areas where it's like, oh shit. Because there's, it's obviously it's a different culture.
Yeah.
And when you start dealing with triads and shit like that, bro, you don't want none of that life.
I never
People talk about organized crime over here. Do not want any of that life over
That's
there.
what Ito says. He's like, we shouldn't, like, this life is just death.
Yeah.
It's nothing. It's not worth getting in these things.
Bro,
but
when you
you gotta give it rating.
I know, real quick though, but like if you talk like old like MMA fighters, who fought in Pride, over in Japan. Pride was run by the fucking Yakuza, like openly run by the Yakuza. And they talk about these guys who had like fingers that were cut off. And like, if you fuck up, they cut off your finger.
Oh, and that one woman had the finger peeling off and she ripped it off the tip.
Yeah, but think about like every guy that that's a boss and he has like half a finger off. Like it's a different kind of thing. So I'm gonna give this a large. I was in. Yes, it was violent, and there was some times I was like, "Ooh, god damn!" but like it was masterful. It was a masterclass in the long tracking shots. I mean, and I thought the story was pretty solid as well. And like, so I watched this Monday night. Paul went to bed, and I was like, I need to watch this film, to record, and then watch this. I went to go get some gas, and then Paula went into labor. So this actually set me up for the violence of childbirth. So I was completely desensitized to what was to come.
I guess congratulations are in order, but Jesus.
Congratulations.
Yeah, baby number 3 is here, baby. Young
What's
Lennox.
his? Oh yeah, Lennox. That's what he is. He's gonna lead the uprising.
Oh, Lennox Brown over there.
Yeah,
but it's just and it's also like I love to watch films that are gonna give me something different, and also give me some different looking people. I love I love to see Asian actors and actresses kind of eating, because I know that they don't get to eat over here the way that they should, considering the talent and what they're bringing to the screen, especially with the martial arts. Because like, what are you guys fucking doing?
Yeah, what are you fucking doing? That's how we're gonna leave y'all pondering, thinking. If you know how we're doing and what the fuck we're doing, leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/mediumpopcorn. Kay, please tell listeners how they can follow you on social media if they like what you had to say about the stunts and the acting and stuff.
Yeah, if you want to follow that, my Instagram is @project.ko. So KO.
Boom. Yep. There you go.
Yeah, Kay, do you have any projects that you're working on right now? Anything that you want to tell people about?
I think the Amazon Prime commercial I just did with Megan Thee Stallion for Prime Day. We did that. I was in that.
I saw that.
Okay. We got a Netflix series coming out soon with some really star-studded cast, directed by Jason Bateman, Jude Law's in it. That's coming up soon. So yeah, a couple things.
Okay, there you go, man.
Out here doing work. All right, baby.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Folks, you can follow me at Frodo_Blackens on Instagram and Threads. You can come out to my one-man show on Friday, August 23rd, Air Seinfeld, Soho Playhouse in New York City. Tickets are available at FrodoBlackens.com. You can follow the show at Medium P Podcast on all social media platforms. Be sure to go to MediumPopcorn.com for all your Medium Popcorn needs. And again, don't forget to leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/mediumpopcorn. Justin, how can people follow you as well as support the show financially? They have the purse strings to do so.
Well, guys, you can follow me at J Brown Did It on all the socials. But if you want to support this show, you need to take yourself over to Patreon, patreon.com/mediumpopcorn. We have $2, $5, $10, and $15 packages. Our entire backlog goes directly on the Patreon, so you can listen to all your favorite episodes. Yeah, you could get some swag. Well, not on Patreon, but that's at tpublic.com/mediumpopcorn.
That's right.
But again, Patreon, guys, is where you need to be. Patreon.com/mediumpopcorn.
That's right. We love you.
Picks.
That's right. We're gonna get some shirtless pics of K on there at some point. Be on the lookout, Patriots. There's a lot coming at you. You're not even gonna ask for it.
Hey, it's just gonna come. Kay, send me some shirtless pics, and make sure you got the V. You gotta have that V in there. You better be working out. Yep, you gotta taper down.
Thank you so much, Kay, for doing the show. We really appreciate it.
Thanks,
and folks, we'll talk to y'all next week.
Peace.